I mean, like you believe in God, right? I mean,
Yes.
I believe in God. Why do you think like God would be a man or a specific man, like a Jewish man? Like I don't get like why would he do that?
Because God picked Israel to be the separate nation, to be the light, to be the difference in the world, and then Jesus was sent to the lost sheep of Israel to usher them back in, to give them a completion of their covenant. They failed on reaching their end, so He ended the covenant with them and brought in the new covenant with the world.
Right. So yeah. So you pretty much get all that from a book. Like it's a belief that comes from a book, right?
No, the book is historical documents, and it's not one
No,
book; it's several
it's
books.
I mean the historical documents like that are only in the Bible.
Yeah,
Like outside of the Bible, there's no. I mean, not to my knowledge, there's no mention of Moses or
sure there is. There's
being
there's lots of mentions of these other people outside the Bible.
like Moses.
Yeah, like the church fathers wrote about them a lot.
No, there no historical writings of people who were there at that time.
From yeah, here's the thing here. So it's not entirely true. For one, we have hieroglyphs in Egypt talking about the Israelites wandering through the desert. Maybe it doesn't mention Moses specifically, but it does talk about them wandering through the desert. We have inscriptions about Solomon. We have inscriptions about Nebuchadnezzar and Babylon that are outside of the Bible. We have the Balaam's inscription that shows Balaam from outside the Bible. So yeah, it's not just in the Bible.
Yeah,
And even if it was, what difference would that make?
yeah, I mean Nebuchadnezzar. I mean they're the Assyrians, right? You have the Assyrians
Yeah, but
kings.
is Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible?
Yeah, he's in the Bible, but he's not from Israel. He's from another nation.
What difference does that make? Your contention was that
Well, we're talking
these
about the
there's
Bible.
no writings outside the Bible of the people inside the Bible, and I just proved you wrong.
No, Nebuchadnezzar is a king from Assyria.
Who's
He's
in
not.
who's in the, Nebuchadnezzar has scripture in the Bible. Like there's parts Nebuchadnezzar wrote.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Bible, but the Assyrian,
There's parts
like,
in the Bible Nebuchadnezzar wrote,
all right,
bro.
you're not listening. The Babylonians are a recorded empire outside of the Bible. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's
is that
fine.
there's no specific mention of like Moses from anyone else. Like you're saying the church
You're,
fathers
you're,
and
you you had a
it's not a
contention that
thousand
there's
years ago.
nobody in the Bible mentioned outside the Bible. Then when I answered that, now you're saying it's only Moses.
No, I asked you about Moses.
You used Moses as an example.
Yeah, but then you're going to another nation. I'm talking about the
Nebuchadnezzar,
Bible.
Nebuchadnezzar is in the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar receives visions in the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar has movements in the Bible. Nebuchadnezzar speaks in the Bible. And
Yeah, but
Nebuchadnezzar has writings
none
from
of that,
outside the
none of that
Bible.
is verified in Babylonian history. That's just we know that Nebuchadnezzar was a king, but anyway, I feel like you're not getting the point.
No, your
So
point is dumb.
my point is dumb.
It's dumb. Yes.
Well, you appeal to the history of the Bible, and
Yes.
I'm saying to you that it only exists in the Bible, right? I
Okay.
asked you about Moses. No one writes about Moses from his era.
Sure.
The slave, if I'm not mistaken, is
What
is
difference does
Israel
that
is,
make?
is Israel enslaved in Egypt? Is that even mentioned outside anywhere out of the Bible?
No, it's only in the Bible.
Right.
So what's your issue? What's the contention? What difference does that make?
Okay. Cool. Because you appeal to the history of it.
Right?
Right. I mean, it's like the death and resurrection of Christ, who
You
you
still
claim
what
to
is your
be.
contention? You haven't
You,
given me
you
your
claim to be
contention.
God. Do you not think that would have been written about anywhere else other than the Bible?
If it was written about anywhere else in the Bible, do you not think we would not have put it in the Bible?
But it's not written about
And it
anywhere
is
else.
actually, it's written in the Gnostic texts.
The Gnostic text.
Yes.
Are they not biblical manuscripts that were
No,
rejected?
they're not. They were never biblical. They were never part of the church. They were
Because they were
Gnostic.
rejected.
They were Gnostic. They were never accepted as
So you
canon.
don't so you don't think it's weird that like the Romans never wrote about them?
How do you know they didn't?
Because we don't have anything. They didn't write anything
Okay,
about
did you
Jesus.
did you know that most of history was lost in the great burning of the Library of Alexandria?
So you're just saying, well, it probably was, but we just
I
don't
didn't
have it.
say it was. You're making a claim that it wasn't. And I'm asking you how you know that.
Because we're going by the evidence that we have.
Yeah, but you don't get this. You can say we don't have any evidence of it. You're saying they never did it. Point blank, period.
Yeah, but if you're going to say, oh,
Okay.
something was
Do you know?
burned in a
Okay.
library,
Okay.
you
Okay. Let
can
me
claim
ask you a
anything.
question. If
Yeah.
your contention is the Rome never wrote about it, why didn't Rome write about Vesuvius?
I don't know who Vesuvius is. Who is that?
It's a mountain, or it's a volcano that destroyed Pompeii.
Oh, okay. I know about Pompeii, yeah.
So why didn't they write about the destruction of Pompeii?
I don't know. I've never
Did the
looked into
destruction of
that.
Pompeii happen?
Yeah,
Is
personally, I
that
never
not a
looked.
big event?
Yeah, I mean, I've never looked into that.
Right. So do you not, if you're saying that Christ doing what he did is a big event, Rome should have wrote about it. Well, Pompeii being destroyed by a whole volcano, Rome should have wrote about it, but they didn't.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, as a human being, God, literally God, the Creator,
Eusebius,
manifested
sorry.
into the world
Eusebius.
as
Yeah.
a human being, I would think that that would be a rather big event.
Do you not think an entire city being destroyed that's under Roman rule would be a big event?
I've never looked into that. I don't know if it wasn't.
I'm asking, I'm asking
Do you
you, do
want?
you
Do
think
you
it'd
want
be a
me
big
to?
event?
Do you want? Yeah, of course. Yes, a big event.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then why didn't they write about it?
Do you want me to Google it now? I don't know if they did never write about it.
They didn't. Listen, if you can find a writing from Roman Empire during the time of the Eusebius and Pompeii, I'll give you $5.
Was that a Roman city?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
The, re-
again,
the
I
reason
don't
we the
know much
reason we
about it.
first learned that Pompeii existed is because people would register for military service within Rome, right? And they would say they were from Pompeii.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I've never looked into Pompeii. I think I know what you're talking about, but there's still people that are charred. That is you've still got people there, right? They're like preserved in ash. Is that what you're talking about? That city?
Mhm.
Yeah, sure, yeah. So yeah, I mean that's basically just. I mean, obviously, I asked you why you appeal to the history of it, but this is why I'm discussing the history of it with you. I mean, historical documents. So it's like it's seems interesting to me that you would say then, well, they didn't need to write about it. I don't
I
really
didn't
get your
say I
point
didn't
there.
say they didn't need to read. When did I say that?
Well, you just used Pompeii. You said they never wrote about it.
Right. I didn't say that they didn't need to. I said they didn't. Or if they did, we don't have any manuscripts of it.
So then, why would you appeal to history then?
What do you mean? Why would I appeal to history?
Well, if you're saying that there's no historical documents, or they didn't need to, or there were but they were destroyed, I don't get why one of your points to believe it would be quote unquote the history.
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Exactly. That you said the history.
How's that
Then
exactly?
when I
Just because you
then
don't
when
make
I
sense doesn't mean it's exactly.
no, look, you said the history. Then when I pointed out to you there is no history, you then said to me,
You didn't point out that there is no history. You said these are not trustworthy historical documents because,
no, I
for
never said
example, they
that.
didn't write about Moses and there's no other writings about Jesus outside of the Bible. So therefore you can't trust it. That's the conclusion you were driving towards.
Yeah, when I asked you about Jesus, you pointed to the history. Then when I said to you outside of the Bible, there's no writings about Jesus, and then you said, oh, well, then there doesn't need
There
to be
are writings outside of the
because
Bible of Jesus, but my contention for you, my question I'm asking you is why does it matter if there wasn't? What would it
because
change? Would it change if it was a historical document or not?
well, no, because again, you said the history. So when I'm showing you that there isn't, you're then
How are
saying,
you
well, there
showing
doesn't
me it
need to be
isn't?
because they
How are
didn't
you
write
showing me it
because
isn't
they didn't.
historical?
So no one outside of the Bible, there's no historical records of people meeting Jesus Christ or seeing the death and resurrection.
Yeah.
But then you said, well, then there
Well, okay,
doesn't
but
need to be because
what difference does it make if there's
no one
not?
ever wrote about Pompeii. So then I'm just interested.
Listen.
Then why would you say the
Answer the
history?
question. I'm going to move on. What difference does it make if there is no other writings outside the Bible?
Only simply that you appeal to the history. If you say I don't need the history, then fine, we can move on to something else.
You're still not answering the question. What difference does it make? How would it make a difference on whether or not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are historical documents if, say, there was another document out there saying, I met Jesus by some guy named Billy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying a credible Roman source would be good. But if you're saying that for you personally, you don't need
I'm
that, then fine.
I'm not saying, I'm just, please answer the question.
hmm
How would another document saying, like, Billy met Jesus improve or lessen the credibility of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John saying that they met Jesus?
Yeah, now you're asking another question. It's
That's
simply
literally the
because,
question I've been asking
hold
since the
on. No,
start.
no, hold on. No, you didn't. Because you simply said the history. So this is how we do
I didn't
history.
say it's a history. I said it's a historical document, and this is not how they do history. You, my friend, okay, if you know history, tell me what the principle of analogy is.
I don't know. Tell me what it is.
I thought you said you do history.
I said this is how they do history.
Who does history?
Historians. They look at multiple
Okay, if
sources.
this is how historians do that, tell me what the principle of analogy is.
I don't know.
Tell me what the
Why
principle of
don't I know?
charity is.
The principle of charity.
Yes.
I don't know. What you're just asking me random questions.
Okay, what I'm trying to
How
show
would
you is you
know?
don't know how historians do history.
Okay, explain. The historians don't use multiple documents, multiple sources. They don't.
You do. We have multiple documents.
In the Bible, but not
When
outside
Matthew
of the
was
Bible.
written, was it
Right.
in the Bible?
No, it's like a Greek manuscript.
Great. When John was written, was it in the Bible?
No, again, it's a Greek manuscript.
Great. When Mark was written, was it in the Bible?
No,
How long were they written before they got put into the Bible?
decades later, 30 AD, 70 AD, the
No,
manuscripts are
no.
dated different times. Yeah.
I'm not asking when they were written. I'm asking when they got put into the Bible.
I don't know, man. I think it was in Egypt. It was in Alexandria. The Bible was compiled. Was it the Archbishop
How
of
many
Alexandria?
years
I
was
don't
it
know.
between the writing of the manuscripts and a Bible compilation happened?
I don't know. A century later, I don't know.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
I
so
think Athanasius was,
if
what,
that's the
2 to 3
case,
centuries after?
is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John one document?
No, they're author. They're claimed to be multiple
So
documents.
so we have multiple documents from history,
Right,
which is what historians do use. Multiple documents from history.
right. Okay, cool. All right, no worries. I mean, I originally asked you outside of the Bible, but you're sticking to the Bible. You're now bringing Mark,
I
Matthew, Luke,
asked
and
you
John.
several times, what difference does it make if there's a document outside the Bible?
Well, because I imagine if God manifest on earth and all these miracles were happening, the Romans would have documented it.
Okay, but you're saying Romans would do this, but we have evidence they don't document great grandiose things because they didn't document the destruction of Pompeii. So how do you know the Romans would do that?
So you're saying that the Bible claims that when Jesus resurrected, people were coming up out of their graves.
Why
And
can't a Muslim stay on topic? That right there. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You just witnessed. You just witnessed. You just witnessed the biggest goalpost shift known to mankind. I got him in a point where he couldn't answer the question, so he full on goalpost shift to something completely different.
Yeah. Do you have an issue with Muslims?
Of course,
What's your issue?
the fact that you guys follow a pedophile.
And you don't.
No,
The Bible's not full of pedophiles.
no.
You're a liar.
Show me one.
Show what? You want me to bring you sources from the Bible?
Show me one P3DO in the Bible.
The Israelites didn't G-side entire tribes and keep little girls for themselves.
Show me one P3DO in the Bible. Show me a verse.
I just get you. You don't know about Israel genociding the Amalekites.
Yeah, they genocided them, and then they took these girls as brides, and it never says their age.
Yeah, they're little. It says little girls. Lachem unto thy
Where does
son.
it say little girls?
Where is an age stipulated?
Where does it say little girls?
Where is an age stipulated?
So if
Can
it
you
doesn't
show-
say an age,
can
it's
you show
automatically
me in the
little
Bible
girls?
where it gives you an age of
Hold
consent
on.
in the Bible?
Your argument is if it doesn't say the age, then it automatically means you can sleep with little girls?
You're talking about an era thousands or centuries of years back.
So
where
can
we
you
can
just
look
admit you don't
history.
know anything about
Listen to
anything?
what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. An era where there was no age for consent. We know roughly the ages people got married. So if the Bible said
Okay,
that
look,
wasn't the
that's
case,
fine.
it would have
Look,
given
hey,
you a law.
look, here's something I'll agree with you on. In history, people doing terrible things based off their time, right? We can't judge them for doing things off their time. But here's the thing. Can you say that Muhammad, he did it, something that was wrong, but in the ignorance of his time?
No, so you would have to show in the Bible where it says that's wrong.
Can you
Where does
can you
Jesus say
answer the
that's wrong?
question?
The question is what exactly?
Can you say that Muhammad did something that was wrong, but simply based off the ignorance of his time?
No, I don't believe in arguments from presentism.
So you think what Muhammad did, sleeping with a 9-year-old, was
It's
a good
perfectly
thing?
fine, yeah. Can you prove to me otherwise from your Bible?
I don't need to use my Bible. I can use science.
You can't use science either, but you're a
When,
Christian.
when does the
Can you show
when does
me
the
from your
uterus fully develop?
fully develop?
When does the uterus fully develop?
In your early 20s, mid 20s?
So late teens, early 20s. What happens if
Right.
you have a child before your uterus fully develops?
I don't know. The youngest mother in recorded history is like 4 years old. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, you end up with severe damage and trauma.
Always? That's the case always?
Yes.
Because we have a lot of teenage mothers. That's not always the case.
Yeah, they live through it.
But what are you saying? They're like permanently damaged.
Not permanently. You can heal.
So it can happen.
Listen. You're saying because they get horribly hurt, as long as they heal from being horribly hurt, it's okay?
No, you're saying they get horribly hurt. How do they get? I know
Because
I know
their uterus
teenage mothers.
does not have the space to hold a child.
I know teenage mothers, bro. They're fine. Like I
Yeah,
went to school with
it
girls who
takes
were teenage
time.
mothers.
And also late teens, teenagers, right, is not a 9-year-old girl.
Right. So again, are you
Scientifically,
able to show me
this caused
from the
harm.
Bible because you're a Christian?
There is no verse in the Bible that talks about consent. What the Bible
Okay,
talks
we
about,
agree. Fine.
hold on. What the Bible talks about, it says do not harm somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sleeping with a child harms them. So in fact,
Right.
so the Bible says do not sleep with a child.
And it also says you can beat your slave, and if they die 3 days later, it's not your fault.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't. It says if you beat your slave, you're to set them free.
No, it does not say
Yes,
that.
it does.
No, it says you can own a slave and bequeath it to your children when you die. You don't have to set any slave free.
Yeah, it says that you can own a slave and give it to your child. But you said in the context of beating them. You're changing context. You're gish galloping all over the place because you realized that you don't know what you're talking about in history. You don't know what you're talking about in the Bible, that you support a pedophile and you don't know anything. So you're jumping all over the place because you realize how bad you look right now.
I don't care. I'm a Muslim.
I know no Muslim cares about how bad they look.
I don't mind how people view me, bro. I really don't care.
I know. That's why you guys are okay going online saying it's good to sleep with children.
I don't take modern laws and mix it with my Bible. I'm not like you, bro. The text is what the text is.
All right. Enjoy a child marriage. God bless. Have yourself a great day.